I went there with the hope of speaking with ordinary people to understand what was going on, why there had been this uprising. So I conducted a lot of interviews every day, spoke with everyone from doctors to rebels themselves to school children to sort of anyone I could get my hands on who wanted to tell their story, and there were a lot of people who wanted to talk. Until he started killing his own people, I was a supporter. You'd find a few people who'd say that. You'd certainly find people who say, I knew people who were associated with the regime. They've sort of disappeared and gone underground since this war started. So it's clear that there were supporters, but a lot of people had a lot of very, very angry things to say. They wanted him dead, so on and so forth. It certainly wasn't a shock. I think people knew that he was most likely still somewhere in Libya. It was a question of where. I think with a lot of other people were a bit surprised that he was actually in Sirte, the city where his family is from and his tribe is strongest, has its strongest support base. But I wasn't shocked that he was there. He certainly said that he said on a number of occasions that he's planning to fight to the death and that his own supporters should do the same, and so that's basically what he did. Once he's dead, there's not someone to rally around when he's being put on trial, so on and so forth. So, the morality of him having been killed aside, it's going to make things more convenient for a lot of people. I think there's still a lot of potential for instability in Libya, unfortunately. Part of the reason for that is that there are a lot of people out there with guns. When this war started, a lot of guns, anti-aircraft guns, Kalashnikovs, so on and so forth, got into the hands of people very quickly because Libyan military units either surrendered or had their military centers taken over. So you have a country, frankly, that right now is awash with guns, and it wasn't before. This is not I spoke with many people. I spoke with a guy who was an accountant who was 27 years old and said, I've never held a gun in my life, and here he is kind of posing looking like Rambo, right? There are a lot of kids, teenagers out there on the streets. There are a lot of scores to be settled. There are now guns with which to do it. So the real task for the new government in the immediate term is to stabilize the country. And foreign governments will certainly be looking to see if that happens.